Hollywood, no looking down. Hollywood now. Hollywood, Hollywood, no looking down. Hollywood now.
Hello. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for another interview with King Solomon Entertainment. We're so happy to guys have you here join us again for another great interview on Hollywood Now. We have a wonderful, great guest, a wonderful talent. And before we do that, we also like to thank you guys to connect with us. If you're interested in supporting this platform, send us an official email at our official website, kingsolomonentertainment.tv, and connect with us. We'll let you know how to do that, how to partner with us, and how to sponsor with us. If you want to support this platform directly, please, that is the cash app right there where you can do that at. Support us. You can do that. Support us on Cash App. Also, if you guys have not subscribed, please take this time now to share this video and subscribe to Hollywood Now platform. This is our across the bottom, our link. You can also go put the link in the chat. Right now, we can put the link in the chat. Make sure you guys definitely subscribe to this platform. And support us and hit the notification button, hit the like button, share. We greatly appreciate that. So absolutely, for sure. Thank you guys so much for all your support. We've been hearing and wonderful things, wonderful feedback. We also streaming on Roku right now. So we're so grateful for that. Roku, King Solomon, all lowercase, entertainment, one word together on Roku. We're on our streaming channel. We're streaming. So we're happy about that. And so we're grateful for that. So without further ado, this next interview is from this wonderful talent, comedian, actress from Comedy Central. This Is Not Happening, TV Guide, stand up in stilettos, Nick Jr. Network, Nick Mom's Night Out, HBO Def Comedy Jam, Showtime Comic Without Borders, Montreal Comedy Festival, Stars, Martin Lawrence presents First Amendment stand-up comedy Meet Me in St. Louis with Cedric the Entertainer, Byron Allen, Comics Unleashed. She opened for comedians such as Mike Epps, Paul Mooney, and also the St. Philly's My Black Utopia and her stand-up Sophisticated Ignorance. Also the host of the podcast with Sherry Shepard, Tighten Up Tuesdays. We're so grateful to have with us today comedian actress B-Phlat.
Thank you, Jay, for reading
so
all of my lovely. That was my whole resume wrapped up in one.
I could have kept going. You've done so much wonderful, great stuff. I'm so happy to have you on. Congrats. I know, take this time. I know it feels good when they say in Hollywood, it's happening. Wonderful things happening for you. You're booking, you're everywhere now. That must feel really good, right?
You know what I have to say? It feels good to be back on the road after coming off COVID. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's a double-edged sword for me because I really enjoyed being at home during COVID. I loved the lockdown. So I got really used to just because I'm always on the road. So being at home for me, it was like when people have that empty nest syndrome, like when the baby move out and grow up, then they don't know what to do with themselves. I kind of felt like that. I was like, oh, now I got to leave and go back on the road and leave my husband. But I'm blessed. And all of this shit just kind of just happened. Everything that's happening for me now, just even though I've been working for 20 years in my career plus, for things to happen, like they say, when shit happens, it happens all at once.
Yes.
So I have to say I'm blessed. And not just for me, just the people around me. The things that are happening for them, also reflects in me and what's happening for me. So it's a great thing, you know. I'm blessed. I can't complain. Thank you.
So grateful to definitely utilize that downtime with Corona to regroup, to get organized, to do the things that you always wanted to do, get vision for what you're going to do next when we come back. So it was definitely time well needed that people don't usually have because life just takes over. But I was glad you really got a chance to enjoy that and to really make use of that. But now we're back to getting back out there.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, I'm really not trying to get back out there. Shit, if you really think about it. No, in all actuality, I'm really being strategic about how I do things in terms of like streaming my shows because everybody said, "Oh, when the lockdown is over, everything's gonna open back up." it's not even, it's not, everything is not going to open up the same. And even though it has, people have vaccination requirements. You know, out in LA, you can't even get in no comedy club without being vaccinated. And
Yes.
the performers can't perform. So I've had promoters say to me, oh, I know you vaccinated. Can you come perform? Because so and so didn't get vaccinated. So
Mm.
we're in a world where things are changing and people feel safer just staying at home, still streaming shit like they did during COVID, during the lockdown.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
find that with me having fans all over the world,
Yes.
people are always hitting me up saying, when you gonna do something that I can watch stream, like be on a streaming? And I was like, you know what, they damn right, because I can make more money around the world with people sitting at home drinking, puffing, toasting up, watching my show, than the amount of people that could possibly even get in a show. You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So I was like, oh yeah, I'm setting my shit up right now to stream. But
Yes.
I'm still
Amazing.
gonna stream live and have a
Yes.
smaller audience for like my day ones, just so I can have an audience. But
Yes.
I really want it to be where you can see my shit all over the world.
Oh
So
no, you
that's what I'm
definitely
really
could.
focused. Yeah, that's what I'm really
Definitely can
focused
set it up like that, and it can
on.
grow into that, and it's the possibilities and opportunities are endless. So definitely, and once you have that audience, you definitely don't want to lose it because it's going to continue to grow and
Exactly.
grow, and it's a beautiful thing. So I know you're from St. Louis, but
Yes.
a lot of people that don't know, like, where did it all begin for B-Flat stand up? How did it all start? Your passion for art?
Well, my passion for art, and I'm an artist in general across the board. When I was just a little kid, being exposed to art. My mom is an artist. She's a
Mm,
creative. My dad is creative. So I found my own niche in terms of ceramics and painting. So I've always done art. And plus, we always lived in like a raggedy ass apartment or somewhere that my mom always fixed up. So she
mhm.
taught us how to do all that stuff, make our own paintings, wallpaper, paint, make it your home. It don't have to, just because you live in somewhere that look a mess, you still can hook it up. So
Yeah, get out.
comedy started for me in Philadelphia. And
Mm,
it was like haphazard. I never thought that I would be a comedian. I'm like one of those people that's like always serious about everything. The slogan and the running joke in my family is that I'm funny, but I'm not fun. Because literally I am the last person to get a joke. Like they tell jokes and shit all around me. I'd be like, what? I guess because I don't tell those kind of jokes where you gotta be like da, 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 and get the punchline.
yeah.
But I'll be the last one, I'll be like, oh, I didn't get it. Everything goes over my head. I know people find that hard to believe. I guess
Mm,
I'm in my own world.
yeah, yeah,
But it
yeah.
started when I was working at this law firm.
Mm,
And those lawyers used to get on my nerve. And I would hang out with my friends and we would be doing different stuff. And I would be telling them how they was, they'd be like, girl, that's funny. That's funny. You should be a comedian. So they ended up signing me up for like a talent show. And I didn't know that I thought we were coming there like as a band because I had my trumpet. And I thought we were going to be all playing. And they were like, no, we signed you up to be the comedian. And I had no skit, no anything. And I was like, oh, I know what I'm going to do. And I just started telling a story about an encounter. And I played that song Creep by TLC,
mm.
the trumpet part in the beginning. I walked out to my trumpet and then I played that song. I was looking all cute and fly in a little dress and it wasn't working. Didn't nobody laugh? Maybe
No.
two people. But the two people that laughed inspired me. I was all like, well,
Mm,
shit, somebody laughed at what I had to say.
wow.
And that was in like 1994.
Mm,
Literally. I was like, oh, people see something in me. So I just started going on stages here. And I actually started my own room
mm.
and had open mic comedy and stuff there. And then I quit my job in 97.
Wow.
Yep. And I was like, oh, I can do this. I can do this. I don't have no kids. It's just me. I can make it on my own. If I got to suffer, it's just me. That's how
Yes.
I looked at it. So I was like, I'm going out on a wing
Yeah.
and 3 prayers. And that's how
Wow.
I got my start. So, right.
And
I was in actually graduate school here at Drexel University in Philadelphia, doing that shit on the side. Then I quit graduate school, quit working and everything. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna be a comedian.
and you
And
never look back.
never look back. And believe me, wasn't nobody in my family trying to hear that. Because
Wow.
first of all, they couldn't see it with me being like an A student and really smart and in college and just involved in all these serious things like debate club and student council. They was like, how's she gonna be a comedian? She is not funny. But I was always witty and sarcastic. I was the bully in high school. I ain't gonna lie. I was the person that if you walk down the hall, I would talk about your ass. So people didn't want to come down like the senior hall because everybody had a little clique. Because people bullied me.
Yeah.
I wasn't like fighting nobody, but we'd be like, yeah, if you walk down here with that bullshit on, go ahead on with your white shoes. I used to be like, okay, Jerry Curl.
Oh, you was that student. You was that girl. Okay, you was that girl.
Because it was funny because we had, when I started high school in 84, that's when they started desegregation from the county to the city in St. Louis. So like all of these city kids would ride the bus and come out to the county and go, and then like all of them used to have Jerry curls and wear these clothes that they were like these city clothes, like leading men and like dress pants with Stacey Adams shoes on. And we used to be like, we in high school, they dressing like old niggas at a cabaret, but and they used to have Jerry curls and we'd be like, oh, here come John with the briefcase and the Jerry curl. Like we were horrible. I ain't gonna lie, I was horrible in high school.
Yeah, but those who make the jokes and be very jovial, it's like that was a way of survival as well. Because
exactly,
if somebody messed with you, that was how you defended yourself. So it was really a survival mechanism too. Because like we none of us had nothing, but it's like they came on me. I'm gonna get you up off of me with these words, these jokes.
Exactly, because people was on me. I came straight from the country in the 7th grade. They used to call me Bird Woman. Because I used to wear this Harley Davidson eagle jacket with the eagle on the back. I was the only black person with the Harley Davidson jacket.
Wow.
But when I was in St. Clair, I was the only person with that jacket. And I was the shit. Everybody wanted it.
Yeah.
But when I came to the city, they was all like, who is this country heifer with that Harley Davidson jacket? You couldn't tell me shit about my hoodie. Oh, they talked me up. I quit wearing it. Because they used to call me Bird Woman and all kind of crazy shit. I got with the program.
Got with the program quick.
I wasn't on some, I'm going to come shoot up the school. I'm ready to fight everybody. I was like, let me stop wearing this jacket.
Please. Time to hang it up. Time to hang it up.
Yeah, let me put the
come down this aisle, you going to get talked about with it.
Exactly. So that's why when I got in high school, I was super fly. Shit, I was like, we would sit up in the hallway, the clique, everybody had their clique, and we'd be like, you better not come down this way. You better walk around. People used to walk around.
Yeah.
They didn't want to come down the senior way.
So help us to understand the transition once you start doing stand-up. And now that you're funny, you went out there, took a risk, and you're doing it. Now you're in it. How did you begin to cultivate your talent as far as perfecting the timing and how you tell your jokes and how you transition to a real comedian?
That's a good question. Transitioning into a professional comedian. And I'm going to say the first thing for me was handling my business, like learning the business part of it. Not necessarily like how promoters work, but how I wanted to operate in terms of like contracts, booking, how to get out there. So, I did my research on my own. And then I was one of those marketing people. So I was like, let me get some cards. And this was the day of VHS tapes. And you had to have like a little bio. So I was the person that everybody used to come to because that was my side hustle. While I was making people's tapes, they bios, all of that stuff that they need. I used to have people in my dining room shooting headshots because I knew what it took to get out there. But then it was just a matter of where it needed to go. So back in the day before social media, that's when promoters came to see you. So you always had to have your shit ready. I would have my cards ready, just different things. And they'd be like, oh, you were funny. Can you come do 10 minutes at my spot or 15 minutes here? So that's how I built up. And then I got to the point where I was like, I want to have my own room. So me and there's a comedian out there and he's a writer. His name is Fred Thomas, and everybody knows him as Mutton here in Philadelphia. But he was the one that wrote those Budweiser commercials that used to be like, "What up?"
Yeah.
All that whole crew from Philly.
Yeah.
Well, Fred wrote those. He's actually in LA, but he and I used to host a comedy room along with poetry called Tickle Me Tuesdays. And I was like, well, if I'm gonna do this, I need to have my own spot and practice. Being a host, I can have my own stage. I can throw stuff out every week just to get better. So I
Yes.
did that, and that was what I did for a long time in Philadelphia, hosting rooms, booking comedians, having, and then people was like, "Oh shit, you funny? Can you come do my spot in Maryland?" Then it was a travel thing. Then it was like, "All right, now we need you out here. We heard about you." Because word traveled back in the day as it should. And
Yes.
people would be like, she's funny. But in the interim, day one, I would always record my shows. And that was back, first I had the cassette tapes.
Mm.
And then the mini disc.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the little bit? Right, I'm serious. And then I started recording them on my phone because I wanted to be able to review. And I always listened to where people were laughing the most.
Yes.
And what worked and what kind of got a chuckle and so I would just sit. I do it like 2 times because I would sit with my eyes closed like I'm in the audience and
Yes.
only mark the tape where I heard people laughing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second time I listened to it, I would mark my spots and like something I needed to work on or I wanted to throw away. And then I just start taking all the shit that was funny that people really laughed at and kind of put it together to make like an hour show.
Yeah.
Because I was like, now I'm a headliner. I want people to book me because I'm funny than the motherfucker. I do this, that. And I know I can be on stage. I know I can hold it down and out. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah.
But it's just in this business, being female in a male dominated business, you go through a lot, especially if you really want to be respected.
Mm-hmm.
And not just seen as you funny for a female. You just want to be funny because you're a comedian.
Yes.
And believe me, I went through hell gaining that respect.
Yes.
And the fact that people used to be like, "Oh, she a bitch.
Uh-oh.
She won a contract and I'm only paying her $75. I don't give a damn. I need you to send me 25 right now on the Western Union." And they used to be like, it cost me $5 to send that. Add that in.
Don't be
And I
$5
want my $50 when I walk in the door. Because I went through so much. Oh, I'm gonna go get your money. I ain't got your money. So you live and learn. And I used to always have a contract. And it was so fun. I used to be at shows and I'll be packing up and leaving and shit because everybody know me. I'm notorious for packing up and leaving because I'm done. And people be sitting around looking crazy talking about, where you going? I'm like, home, back to my room. Oh, you got your money? I got my money when I came here. What you talking about? That's why y'all ass sitting back here looking crazy. And I'm going to my room and I don't need nobody to pick me up. I'm getting in this Uber or I'm taking, the cab back to the hotel room. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Them days is over. I shut that shit down early.
Yeah.
I got to wait around for you to come. I have been I'll tell this story all the time. I've landed 2 places and they ain't had my money at the airport and I paid the $150 change fee and booked my flight and went right back home. And I was like, I don't even care. I ain't have to work. I already had my deposit. And then the people called me the next day, comedians was like, girl, we ain't even get paid. So that would have been one of those shows that I would have did because I go with my instinct and I stick with my contract. And I was like, I ain't caring about paying no $150. They already sent their $1,500 deposit.
Yeah.
I want my money when I land. And then they hit you with when we get you to the hotel, we're going to take you, get the money. No, I need my money now. And y'all bank is around the corner from this airport. My bank too. So
everybody bank is.
Everybody bank. Thank you.
If not, they can do a transfer.
Yeah, but they used to hit me with we ain't got that bank here. We ain't got that bank there. I like, but that bank got Zelle and they do wires.
Yeah, and wires.
And I'll take the hit on the transfer fee.
Transfer,
Yeah, I'm like, I ain't leaving this airport without my money. I don't know, y'all.
You have to learn the business side first to make
it easy
and I may not
ever see that promoter ever again.
Yeah.
And then I gotta go back and be like, I ain't got my money. And be calling you 2 weeks later, and then you done change your number.
Yeah.
I don't know you in that state. No, I need my money when I get off the plane.
Yes.
And don't pick me up with 3 niggas in the car. That's how you get robbed. Well, if I gotta fight anybody, I'm fighting your ass.
That's the bad side.
That's a bad sign.
There's so many stories that you hear about those on the road back in the day. Yes, so it's like, especially for women, you have to definitely protect yourself before, and just in show business, period, you have to protect yourself before. So and now that you're on the road, you're touring. You're handling your business. You're perfecting your craft. When did you decide to say, "Hey, I want to start hosting. I want to start acting"? When did you know you had talent to expand to other areas in show business?
Through the great eye of my manager, who produces about everything. They have their hands in a little bit of everything.
Yes.
So whenever they're working on projects, for example, when we did the Sundance Film Festival, they did a thing where it was sponsored by Bar Zone, like a health nutrition line. This was maybe about 15 years ago. But my management company was tasked with producing that. It was a music special about how they select music to go into movies. So they had all the, like, for the whole week, they had a different lineup all day long because they were taping it. So I had to host that with Babyface. And it was just so fun because my manager saw that in me. And because they were doing it, she's like, "Oh, we're taking you to some, and you can do this. It's a music thing." So I have to say, whenever they see a fit for me, because they know my personality, they'll be like, "Oh, B, I'm working on this. I want to throw you on, come out and meet this person." So I've always been blessed with that, and that my management is in Hollywood. And see, that's the great thing about them being in Hollywood and them staying connected to Hollywood, because they keep me in the know, because they know I'm not Hollywood at all. Not my mentality. I can't, my manager doesn't like that I wear a headscarf and a baseball cap when we go shopping, because she think I'm supposed to dress up and look like this, like at the grocery store, and to go out and get a blunt for 7-Eleven. She think I'm supposed to be doing my hair and shit. I'd be like, I'm going down there in my pajamas. And she won't go nowhere with me. She refuses to ride with me if she think I'm looking a hot mess. She'd be like, "I'm not getting out the car," or "I'm not going in." I'd be like, "Bitch, I ain't thinking about these people. They don't know me. And even if they did, I'm not getting dressed up to go grocery shopping."
Yeah. That's one thing we know about comedians. They're real people, and we enjoy that about them. And
but
we
there
love
are people that do that, Jay.
Yeah.
It's people that do that. Believe me, I be in grocery stores in LA all the time. I see people that walking around their heels and shit.
Yeah.
They're just pushing cars with heels on and little skirt. I'm be like, "Damn, don't your feet hurt? If you slide up in this motherfucker, I'm gonna be the first one to laugh."
Don't walk down this aisle, because I'm gonna let you know you got to take
Yeah, and you better not be talking about, "Oh, the floors were slippery." No, your shoes is slippery, bitch. Right. Don't be coming up here with no fucking red bottoms on grocery shopping. But they do that. But you never know. They might be in there trying to get a case.
Exactly.
Everybody ain't balling like they say they are out in LA.
Well,
they might just look like it.
Yeah. Everywhere else too. That's the facade. Gotta play the part.
Exactly.
But you definitely
I don't have a facade.
Yeah.
I'm too broke for that. I owe everybody and their mama. I'm always working towards my goals, paying bills like the average person.
Yeah.
So I don't try to be living beyond my means. That's why I do everything frugally. I'm on a budget like everybody else. It'd be plenty of times I ain't even got a dollar.
I was just happy. I was happy when I got to the point where I don't owe no black people. So I was good, because you know how they act when you owe them some money. They'll show up to your job. They'll come to your house. It's like, long as you owe no black people.
Everybody owes somebody. It's the way of the world, but it's all in you working towards it. There's some people that just don't give a fuck. Yeah. I got bills like everybody else, so I just owe people. I just try to work on it, but I don't be trying to front like, "Oh, let me go get this outfit and that," and I get my hair done. I do everything myself: hair, nails, makeup. I even be making my own clothes and altering things for the stage with my sewing machine. And people be like, "Who made that?" I be like, "Me, bitch," because I ain't got no money. I tell people,
don't walk down this house. We gonna clown you with that.
But I say to myself, because I've always been frugal, and because I've been on the road and can't keep a standing hair appointment, why not learn to do shit yourself and save some money? So that's why I do my own nails. Yeah, I was like, I can't be spending no $100 a week getting no hair done when they can go on something to me that's more important, like something around my house or a bill or trying to pay down some debt. So I just be like, I do my own hair for free.
Who were some of the people when you got to Hollywood that embraced you to say, "Hey, you're talented, you're funny, we like you, come go with us"? They gave you some great advice. Who were some of those talents and acts that did that for you?
Some of the people that embraced me in Hollywood. Oh, I've been embraced by a lot of great people.
That's good.
And I'm going to tell you, who always gave me good advice. Tracy Morgan.
Oh wow.
Always gave me good comedy advice. Sherry Shepherd, obviously, and Kim Whitley totally embraced me. They love me. They be like, bitch, we just love you. You just funny. And they're friends of mine.
Yeah.
Lunel has totally embraced me. I could go on and on. The people that have really been in my corner. D. Ray, London Brown. A lot of people may know London as the uncle on BMF.
Mm.
You watch BMF?
I do. I love BMF.
He that's my show. And London is my boy. It's funny. I was just chatting with him the other day. A lot of people on The Wire I'm definitely cool with have embraced me and always come out and support and give me my very good friends Sonia Son and Chad Coleman, Andre Royo, all of them have always, and rest in peace, Michael K. Williams, have always supported me, even back my shows, my one-woman shows, and be like, bitch, here's some money. We want you out there. People need to see you. Have hired me to do things for them at their rap parties and stuff like that for The Wire and just different things, just so people just, and I never asked them. That's the one thing. I don't never ask people to do nothing for me. I stand on my own merit. It's just people see something in me and they be like, bitch, you got to get out there. We want so and so to see you. But believe me, I could give a shout out all day long, especially like to Donnell Rollins. Ashley Larry, everybody know him from Ashley Larry on Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
He's always him, Red Grant, Jay Phillips. There's so many people in Hollywood.
If you could think of some great advice, what was some of the great advice you could share with the audience today?
In terms of being in this business, or just in
that advice that really resonated with you, that stuck with you, that's like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Something that really it made sense to where it's like, okay, it's kind of like life changing, like, wow, you know what I'm saying? It really stuck with you. You never forget it.
When Tracy Morgan always told me to just do me, because he always said people not ready for you. And I've always been told that in Hollywood. They not ready for you. You rapping, you all over the stage, you hardcore like a dude, but you're just so petite and they can't visualize you. And it's so sad Hollywood is like that. Some people, the mentality, more or less like if they see a vision for you as, oh, you could wear weave, we see you hosting, we see you in movies, we see that, versus the vision you see for yourself. They don't have that for other people. They just kind of box them in, and they feel like if you basically big, or you might be, you know, fat, dark, or whatever, you can be loud, boisterous, and cuss and say all that. But coming from me, it's more like, hold up, wait a minute. And I got that in Hollywood all the time. I don't get that now. All the time. They'd be like, oh, we don't know where to place her. Because she's so, well, would she be interested in just hosting this? No, this is what I do. I talk shit. So I would never get discouraged.
Yeah.
Only because the people behind me, like Tracy, Dean Edwards, people would be like, just do you, B.
Yeah.
Do you, stay true to you. And that's the advice I tell people. Instead of trying to figure out, trying to be like somebody else, what everybody else is doing, stay true to your shit, because that's what makes you unique. It makes you you. And that's what makes me me. Can't nobody do me.
What's one of the things you have not yet done but want to do?
My own DIY show. I want it's on my vision board. I've been writing it for years. I want my own home show, like everybody else on the DIY HGTV, called The Frugal Flip, where I just teach people how to reimagine the things they already have. My goal is to not spend no money. Because these DIY shows, they be wanting you to have $100,000, go live somewhere for 3 weeks. Realistically, ain't nobody got no money there. People be having $200-$300 and want to do something with it. And I show them how to do something with it. And my flips are amazing, like this basement. And that's what prompted it in my show and the podcast. Because I flipped this whole basement by myself, basically. I had help from a brother-in-law, my husband, for like heavy stuff. But in terms of drywalling, painting, cutting, sewing, all of that, it took me 8 months. I did it by myself. And I spent $600. Because I flipped the stuff that I already had. I was like, I ain't got no money to buy. I only had to buy like absolutely like certain things. But I was like, I don't need no new. I'm not buying no new nothing. I'm painting it, flipping it, making something out of something. So that's what my whole show is about. I teach people how I broke the desk down, took the drawers out and made shelves in a bar cabinet. I broke the legs off of a table and made railing for my steps. All my friends like, it's hard coming down your steps. They narrow. You ain't got no railing. So I made a railing from a table leg. I mean, but my shit is dope. And everybody, when I show them what the things were made from, people be like, I can't believe you took them wine boxes that wine and made, a floating shelves and stuff. Like all this stuff behind me is made from stuff that I had. And my whole, you can't see my other room, but I guess
no. But what did you get that skill set from? How did you learn how to cut and saw and all this stuff?
Just from, I'm one of them, just do it. And then if I don't know something, I'll look it up. And I'm an instruction reader. Way before YouTube, I didn't read instructions. I'll go out and buy something. And before I use it, I might take a week to read the instruction book. And then I go at it. Because I've always been, well, for one, I'm an artist. I paint. All the paintings in this house are mostly what me and my husband have done. I like to build things. I like to be creative. So I like to take it further. So as I've gotten older, I was like, you know what? Now that we own a home, can't nobody come over here and tell me how to do nothing in this house or spend me on some, that's going to cost, if we go in the wall and do it, I'll be like, bullshit, because I already been in the wall and did that. You can't spend me on. So then that was another reason why, because my other house, it needed so much work done on, I really couldn't afford to. I only hired people to do the necessity, like gas stuff and electrical. But everything else, I was like, oh no, ain't nobody coming up here, because I was going to learn to do it myself just to save money that I didn't have to spend.
Now, so being from St. Louis in Missouri, moving to Philly, did the East Coast agree with you more? Like, because it seemed like you was born on the East Coast, but did it agree with your personality? Did you love it? You feel like you was home?
It had to grow on me because I'm so country. And then even to this day, like I'm right on Philly, Baltimore, Philly, New York, Boston.
Yeah.
It's a group of people that if you speak to them, they looking at like where I know you from. Like, why are you speaking to me? Well, I'm down south.
Yeah.
West, we just, when people walk past, you just be like, hey, how you doing? Or good morning.
It's almost an offense if you don't. Like,
yes.
So
when I moved up here and I would be out and I would be like, good morning. They be like looking at you like, bitch, I don't know you. And why are you speaking to me? And that's why I knew everybody on my block and became the block captain, because I would get up in the morning, get my newspaper. I was the block captain for like 12 years. And I would wave and I would go down and talk to people. And they'd be like, where are you from? And I'd be like, St. Louis. They'd be like, oh, we hear it in your accent. Because I'm one of them people that grew up where we knew everybody in the neighborhood, like on the block. So I can't imagine living on the street and not knowing my neighbors. I guess that's just the way I grew up. So when I moved on my block, I was like, how y'all doing? I'm Miss Beverly. I'm just country like that. And then people got used to me and they was like, all right, she cool. And I'm the same way over here. Everybody on this block. And it's got to be 70 houses, maybe 60 to 70 in my block. And I know probably about 30% of the people on both sides of the street. I ain't gonna say half, but because some people I don't even see at all. I've never seen come out of the house, but shit, I'm just friendly like that. So I've learned it rubs off. It's funny, like my country and my spirit rubs off on people around me, especially in my neighborhood.
You got other people speaking that would normally speak
all the time. And it's so funny because when the lady came to do the census, and I was pissed because we were the first ones to send ours in last March. And we kept getting these notices. And I kept throwing them away, like, why they bugging out? And I got my folder right here. I printed it out when they gave us the confirmation of us doing the thing online. So when I caught the lady, and she was about to hand me the thing, I said, why do you keep giving this to me? I did this already. She was like, no, you didn't. So when I came down here and got the paper and showed it to her, she said, ours got lost in the sauce when they had the lockdown. And she's like, and I'm tired of running around here trying to get I said, well, who you need? And then she sat on my porch for at least an hour and a half. And I was all like, well, no, that they last name is so-and-so. It's 3 people in that house. They live. I was like, I don't know their last name, but they first, she's like, what about that house across the street? I said, do you want me to get you a cup of tea? You need something to drink? We were sitting right on my porch. And I helped her finish up her census shit.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
Because I was like, I don't want to see you around here on my porch no more. And niggas probably like, you come around here one more time. And she's like, it's the last day almost. I got to get in. I said, girl, the people next door, did you get them? I was like, what about Janice next to me? Like, I was like, her neighbor Randy upstairs. I was like, what about Darnell?
They go like, she tell everybody. How you know me?
And see, I guess that's what I've learned about being on the East Coast. I didn't let it consume me in terms of like how rude people can be and just their ways, but it's just a different environment. It's so fast paced. So that never rubbed off on me, but it was something I had to get used to. Yeah. But it never made me be like, well, I'm gonna stop speaking to mother because nobody speaks to me. Yeah. No, I still be like, hey, how you doing? And
so tell us about your podcast.
My podcast is called Tighten Up Tuesdays. It's a live podcast every Tuesday with Sherry Shepard.
Yes.
She's my co-host. And, you know, she's busy and all over the place. So when she's not there and can't fill in, I get people to fill in. Or I just do it with my my producer. But my podcast is the DIY podcast, but I call it BIY. Build it yourself, and I'm B-Flat. Of course, it's DIY. It's a DIY podcast where I more or less show people like weekly different things based off what people may ask for or suggestions or things that I've built around this house. I show them how to make them. And then we have 4 segments. It's a really fun show. The first segment is called The Frugal Flip, where I just show videos and clips of everything that I did here in segments of how I put something together in my basement. So, and then we move into a little thing called the DYK, where I just read some information about Black people's contributions to home life. So I have like 120 things like Black people invented that people don't even know about. So I put that information out there and people submit it too. And I'd be like, damn, I didn't know we invented that, and the toilet paper roll and the mop and the washboard is just. So I put those things out there just to kind of let people know that Black people have made significant contributions to home life. Yeah. And then we do a segment I call Flat's Feature, where I pick like people submit stuff to me all over the world and they're doing amazing things, and I feature what they're working on. And I show their video and then like maybe 6 or 7 photos of what it is that they've created. And then I leave their selfie up at the end of the segments for people to reach out to them for their marketplace. Because I've had a feature from Seoul, Korea that crochets. He does amazing cardigans. So he started doing it during COVID. And that's like the basis of my show. I feature like people that was finding shit to do during COVID, extra ways to make money. So it's like all kind of creative projects come across my screen. So every week I have to sit down and look through shit and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to feature them because they're doing amazing shit. And then we do this segment called Irks and Works, where people submit a irk and a work, like shit that might irk you around the house or things that people do at work. Yes. But you got to have a solution. You can't just say, oh, it irks me when people do this. So you have to have a solution.
Yes.
So I get funny irks and works. Like people be like, oh, I'm irked by people that take their shoes off at work and they're all cluttered around the desk, you know, in their cubicle. So the irk might be, oh, get a basket. The work would be, oh, get a basket, keep your shoes in at work. You know, people be like, I hate people that have fucked up mini blinds in the window. Right. And then they be like, the work is to go get some from Home Depot for $5, the paper.
Yeah, so, that's funny.
Yeah. And then the last thing is called How They Hold Them Down. It's where people submit stories of things that their parents, that they found out later in life, their parents had to do to hold the household down. So I read a funny story every week. Like people be like, I ain't know that my mama had 9 IDs when, you know, until I grew up. And the reason why, yes. So, but it's all about like just holding it down, how to tighten up stuff in your house, ways to save money, just be frugal. Like I show people how to take different container. Like I made this, I'll just show you. It's a sconce. And it's out of a piece of floorboard. It's a flooring that was left over from my project. So I just painted it. This is a biscuit. You know how you get the biscuits and add that little silver thing? That's the lid. And then I glued a tea light candle thing to it. Wow. And it's 2 pieces of wood that I put together Oops, I'm in the wrong angle. I put together with like a L bracket and just put 2 little screws in there and painted it. And then I put double-sided Velcro tape and I stick it right up on my wall and I just burn a little candle on it.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
so
I
it's
was
like a
gonna ask,
little,
what's the function? What's the function of it? What's the purpose of it?
it's a
It's a
sconce.
candle.
So you know how people have like the little sconces on their wall when you and they
Yeah,
have like candles and I was like, I'll be making them for free.
yeah, that's good.
And this is just, and you know what these are? These are the little stickers. Like when you get furniture and then like, and you put it together and then you don't want to see where the screws are. And they give you that little pack of stickers that you're supposed to cover the holes with.
Wow,
Yeah, I
wow.
just use those and
I
decorate
like
shit
the
with.
idea that you could hang it up high, but a fragrance could go higher and fall down. Because last time it'd be lower and it rises, but this
Well,
way
see,
it's higher and then it'd
I,
be like all over.
I just stick it right up. It's 2 pieces of Velcro tape up on this wall. And
That's
it's
good.
easy to remove. You don't have to worry about hanging it and the tape can come right off. So
Wow.
these are the kind of things that I show people how to do. Oh, my phone is saying low battery. I got to stick a
Okay.
battery clip
No,
in there because I don't. No, not my. We on my computer. I'm talking about I was live on my phone, but I'm about to
Instagram.
put my little
We know with
battery.
Hollywood now with comedian actress B-Flat on Instagram as well as on YouTube, guys. Make sure you guys click in. We're talking with B-Flat, comedian actress, talking about her podcast, Do It Yourself podcast, BIY. And it's, having a great time with her, learning about her journey in Hollywood. So Instagram, we just wanted to say hello to you guys as well as YouTube. Make sure you guys subscribe on YouTube as well as Instagram. Follow us.
Oh,
Um,
don't fall.
and we're
The
so
battery.
great to have you on, and
Okay.
hopefully you begin to. We supposed to be carrying some of your stuff on the Roku channel, King Simon.
Yeah.
Hopefully that works out, and all the wonderful great things that you have going on, and what you're working on. I know you're supposed to be doing the sophisticated ignorance
Ignorance. Yeah,
woman,
that's my one woman
woman
show.
show. Working on that coming up.
Yes.
So what's some other great things
Yes.
you got coming up?
Well, I'm working on that. A lot of people don't know that I play the trumpet.
Okay.
So in my one woman show, I have some original songs. In the beginning, I do a lot of covers to kind of get the people engaged, and I have a band and backup singers and stuff like that. So I'll sing a few songs, rap a few things, play my trumpet, do some old school. Then I start the comedy show where I incorporate a lot of the music that I wrote. And at the end, it's just like a funny life story about how music has influenced my comedy. And I'm
Wow.
sophisticated, and I'm ignorant as hell. So that's why it's called sophisticated ignorance. It's one show, one night, 3 bitches.
Okay.
That's me because I'm doing 3 different things. So
Okay.
that's what I'm working on trying to get set up streaming. My last one woman show was in Tempe, Arizona, at their convention center. That was right before COVID hit, and I was getting ready to do the next one because I've been moving them around. But now, like I
Yes.
said, I have to revamp it with COVID and more or less
Streaming.
stream and do things like that. But believe
Amazing.
me, I'm always working on something big. I consider
Amazing.
big. So shit is big for me because I produce it. I have people that sponsor the show, and we all trying to make our money, but I have
How they can
total
get
control over that.
how they can connect with you, how they can support you, what's your social media handles and everything. Let them know to follow you.
I would love for people to follow me at Flat Out Funny on Instagram, and that's with PHs, and that's PHLATOUTPHUNNY. And from there, they can click on my link tree and see all the different things I'm involved in. And one of them is selling my flash rags. I know
Oh,
that sounds funny. These my
flash,
hot flash rags. Yeah,
hot flash rag.
when I be having a hot flash. So they
Yeah.
actually they come in a pack of 3. And the red one, they're pink, red, and blue for $25 on buyjack.com/B-Flat. But the pink one says the Drip Diva, draped in the drip. And the red one says Flash Life, like with PHs, 2
Yes.
hits to the neck, because I'm always going like this on my show. When I be having my hot flash, I be like, so it says 2 hits to the neck on that one. And then the blue towel says swagged in sweat,
Swag.
flushed, but still fly. Yeah,
Wow.
so because people kept saying, I ain't having hot flashes, but it's like when you go to the gym, you need a towel. So you could be a drip diva, draped in the drip. When you cooking, around holiday time and everybody in there helping it be hot, you gonna need a towel. And guys are even buying my towels, and they carrying the ones that say "swagged in the sweat." Because I have people submit the pictures to me, and I feature them on my show on Tuesday.
Wow, amazing!
So every time somebody buy the flash rack, they be sending me the pictures, and I post them and let people see that anybody can get them. It's not just for having hot flashes.
Yeah,
but for me, it's for my flashes because I go through 3 at a time. When one is wet, I got a dry one.
Yeah, and make sure you expand the line and add more great fun things onto your on your online shop shop store. So
I am. I'm actually working on my t-shirt line, which I'm hoping to debut February 1st.
Okay, gotta come back on and talk about it. Thank you so much. Great having you. Always fun to talk to you. A wonderful, great person. We love what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. You have to come back on anytime. Definitely a friend to the show, and hopefully be working together on the streaming side as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, and I do apologize again for earlier when I was sitting around looking like a dummy.
No, we're good. We're good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next time. Thank you so much. I had a great time. Okay.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right. Actress, comedian, B-Phlat, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We want to take this time to thank our sponsors, and then we'll be right back to conclude the show. HeartToHeartForYou.org. Heart to Heart mission is to supply every young person with a new pair of shoes, especially those who need them. A domestic and international nonprofit organization. 844-237-6344. Tell them King Solomon sent you. Come Massage Therapy Group. We come to you. You can come to us. You in charge. 951-210-2945. 28991 Old Town Front, Suite number 208, Temecula, California. ComoMassage.com. Tell them King Solomon sent you and ask for the King's discount. GQ Auto Connect. Simple, affordable, quality service that's worth it. New and used vehicles at a wholesale price and much, much more. 310-695-2404, Culver City, California. Tell them King Solomon sent you. GQAutoConnect.com. Dr. Amanda J. Rosette, Doctor of Physical Therapy, low back, neck, shoulder pain, pain management, post-surgical rehabilitation. RosettePhysicalTherapy.com. 424-243-5261. Tell them King Solomon sent you. Thank you guys so much. And there you go. Another great interview here on King Solomon Entertainment. And we just so happy, guys, that you guys will support us. Make sure you click comment, subscribe, hit the notification button if you can know when we go live next time. And thank you guys so much for your support. Till next time. King Solomon Entertainment, Hollywood Now. Thank you so much. Yeah, Hollywood.